It's question time. It's Charlie, your buddy. Some of your buddies, some of your enemies, I don't care. Whatever you are, it doesn't matter to me. Today, we're going to finish up these questions and be finished, okay? Critical questions number 3, baby. Before we start, I've got some more feedback on people were complaining, or some people were mentioning how I act in videos, and I wanted to cover that. I've got a medical disorder, okay? I've got attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, okay? So those of you who think that I'm putting on some character or something when I make a video, it's false, okay? This is how I am in real life. I'm very, energetic and very outgoing and very talkative, okay? Because it's a disorder, god damn it! Okay, so leave me alone. Quit talking about me. It makes me feel bad. It makes me feel insecure. This is how I am, for God's sakes. And if you want to know, ask somebody that actually knows me in person, and they'll tell you the same damn thing. Let's get started on these freaking questions. It's morning here, and Tiruriru, they gave me all these samples of cakes last night, and I ate all of them but 2 now. And I've got to get out and get some exercise. It's nice out today, so let's get on with this. Guys, questions, man. Question number 1, there are so many communist buildings in the country. Why don't they paint or renovate them, reconstruct them, simply do something as they distort the beauty of many cities? What do you think? Buddy, I totally agree with you. That's what I think, okay? The first city that comes to mind when I think of these ugly, big, drab, communist flats is Shabac. Because Shabac is a beautiful city once you get downtown, but when you drive in from Belgrade on the bus, you go over the bridge, the first thing I noticed was these drab, ugly, communist-built buildings with no color, dilapidated, horrible-looking buildings. Belgrade has many sections of the city that are these massive places where thousands of people live, very ugly. What they should do, in my opinion, is Serbia is a country. It's funny, almost. It's funny and sad at the same time. Such a massive percentage of Serbian people are employed by government. A lot of these elections, once somebody gets elected, they promised people jobs. And so it's just an absolute mess. I don't know how you'd even change it. I'm not a politician, and I'm not going to even get into that part of it. But what they should do is some of these thousands and thousands of people that are employed by the government doing nothing but sitting around and drinking coffee all day, they should go out and paint and do stuff in the city and paint some of those old drab communist-style buildings. They were built during the reign of Tito, okay? Tito was in charge of Serbia. He was kind of the socialist, communist, however you want to put it, leader of Serbia for 40-some years, from right after World War II till 1979 or 1980 when he died. He was in charge of this country. Big divide on how his reign was, but something he did that was good, he created the non-aligned movement. The non-aligned movement was not siding with the United States and the West and not siding with Russia. He was kind of a middle guy. And it was very popular in the Third World. In a lot of the Arab Gulf countries. Egypt, I know, was a good friend of Tito. Algeria, I got tons of friends in Algeria. They were good friends with Tito. Libya, they had really good relationships with those countries. They didn't want to get involved, get in the middle of that stuff. Tito in Sarajevo, I was in a little village of Sarajevo, which is a beautiful, gorgeous little village that's dying. I asked the villagers, and a lot of villages still have Tito on their wall. He was popular. We were up on this big, beautiful hill overlooking the town of Sarajevo, and I asked the guy, I said, what was your best times in your life? This guy's maybe 50, I don't know. And he said, through an interpreter, he said, Tito's time. He said, if you look at this little village, he said, see that hospital, that post office, that school, that theater, that monument, all of it was built by Tito. If it wasn't for Tito, there would be nothing here, is what he said. But then on the other side of the coin, I have many people that mentioned how much money Tito borrowed from other world nations. He put Serbia in debt, and he also, if you criticize the regime, you went to secret prisons, and there was a lot of that. You couldn't really speak out against the government. But from my view, I'm not siding with I would not want to live during that time. I don't care how good a country has it. nobody should be president for 40 years, okay? I don't care if Barack Obama's doing an unbelievable job and we all have millions of dollars in our bank. I don't want him to be there for 40 years. I want him to be there 8 years maximum and then go away, okay? So we can get somebody else that's a puppet, you know. But back to Tito, at least, the way I look at it, at least the money he borrowed from the world and put it in debt, a lot of it went to the people. At least everybody had a job, everybody had a salary, you know, things like that. Had free health care, had things, you know, so I see it both ways. I don't know. I think it's cool, though, really. You look at it, Serbia, you guys are really lucky. I mean, you've experienced such a variety of things. You've experienced how it is to be ruled by kings, by communists, by democracy, and probably the funny thing is, probably the worst part of your history is your democratic times, you know, unfortunately. You know, the times are rough here, but it's still developing, so hopefully things will change. God, I gotta shut up! I gotta get on here! Oh, 3 times. I gotta smack myself 3 times. The Serbian way. Are the people proud of their nationality? If, say, a Serb travels around the world, would he be respected at international airports, or would he feel ashamed of his passport? I feel ashamed of his passport? Are you kidding me? If I ever saw a Serbian that was ashamed of being a Serb and ashamed of his passport, I'd kick his frickin' ass, man. Because that's ridiculous, you know. You have every single right to be proud, and you should be, you know. Serbia is a wonderful place with a beautiful history, you know. You've been a tough little part of the world for many years. Nobody could get rid of you, and everybody's tried to get rid of you, it looks like, you know. You're tough fighters, you're proud people, you sit there and you thumb your nose at the United States of America, the most powerful country in the world in 1999. You didn't roll over. You just you took it. You hit them head on. You know. That says a lot, man. You know, you have every right to be proud people. You know, I'm very, very proud that I have been accepted by many Serbs. That I've become a friend of Serbia. That I have been accepted by some families here in Serbia, by thousands of Serbian friends, you know, that would protect me and keep me out of trouble, you know, keep people from fucking messing with me. And, you know, Serbs are great. And are they proud? Hell yeah, I would say the majority of Serbians are extremely proud, you know. Even though the rest of the world just turns their back and, you know, squats over Serbia and takes a crap on Serbia. You know, the Serbs are still damn proud. And you don't see every day people that, in a diaspora, that still have such a love for their homeland, you know. I see that, I hear it, I know it, because I've made videos for 3 years and write blogs about Serbia for 3 years. Every single goddamn day I get a message from somebody in the diaspora. You know, I just met a wonderful Australian Serb yesterday that's in Spain on vacation. He had appendicitis, and his appendix burst in Paris. He sent me a message. He said, "Thanks for what you do. I haven't been back to Serbia since 2008." And, you know, so there's lots of pride and love and, you know, connection still to Serbia. And he said at his house back home, even though he hasn't been here since 2008, his family speaks Serbian at home. They live in Serbian communities, you know. And so they're proud people, and they have a right to be proud, okay? And if they're ashamed, they're an idiot, you know. There's no reason to be ashamed. Next question. This is it, and last one. What are your views on Croatia? Why don't you visit that country? It's already a famous tourist destination. Let me answer that one first. What are my views on Croatia? My views on Croatia is a beautiful country. Used to be part of Yugoslavia. After the breakup of Yugoslavia, Croatia got very, very lucky. Croatia got the whole beautiful touristic strip of beaches and everything. So Croatia came out really well. I have nothing against Croatian people. I know very few of them, and I have not been there yet. You're right. I haven't really had an opportunity to go yet. A lot of my Serbian friends didn't want to go when I talked about going to Croatia. I've heard stories, and I don't know how reliable they are, but a lot of my Serbian friends said when they've gone into Croatia, even open-minded Serbs, that once people find out they're Serb, when they hear their accent, it's slightly different, because Croatians speak Serbian, But when they spoke Serbian way, certain things, they said after people knew they were Serb, they weren't treated nice. The customs official, the border control treated them badly. And I want to go, but I really didn't feel comfortable going by myself, all that much just yet. But I'm going to go. I met some nice Croatians online. I got Croatian friends through lacrosse. Real nice people, So I'm an American. I can go, wherever the hell I want to. But I just haven't gone yet. It's already a famous tourist destination. That's one reason why I'm not a big on famous tourist destinations, I don't like to go to Cancun, Mexico. I don't like to go to Hawaii. I don't like to go to Miami, Florida. I like to go to places nobody else goes. It's fun, It's not westernized yet, Is it because Serbs will be mad at you? I don't give a shit who's mad at me. I'll go wherever the hell I want, the Serbs I care about, the Serbs I hang out with, the Serbs I communicate with online, most of them, they don't care where I go. They don't care if I go to the middle of Albania and stay there for a month or two. My friends are my friends. They know where my heart is. I've been here for 3 years. I can go wherever I want. And I'm going to go to Albania. I'm going to go to Kosovo, Metohija, and see how some of these people live and how their mind ticks, Because I believe Serbs, I love Serbs, and I've seen the suffering the Serbs have gone through at the hands of all their neighbors. But I'd like to hear the other side and see what they say, how they can justify some of the things, and maybe make me a little... I'm already open-minded. My God, I'm from the USA, And I've heard the other side of the story. I know what the Serbs supposedly did. I'm sure they did some of it, but not all of it. I don't believe it. But I know the other side did bad things to Serbia. That's why in Croatia, all of a sudden Croatia's the USA's best friend and European Union's best friend. And only a few decades ago, they were aligned with Hitler and the Nazis. The same with the Albanians. And Serbians were close. We were buddies. They saved 500 American airmen, and all this. And all of a sudden, Serbs are the bad guy. Croatians are our friend, Everybody judges Serbs for some things they did in the 1990s. Nobody judges Croatians for what they did. Nobody even hears about it. Like Jasenovac, this one of the worst, disgusting concentration camps on the planet. One of the only ones that had, I think the only one, that had a branch for children. Serbian kids, Gypsy kids, Jew kids. That probably sounded anti-Semitic. Jewish children. Horrible atrocities were committed there, but nobody says anything, and it's like it's quiet. Nobody wants to hear about it, It's makes you wonder who's in charge of these media things that tell the world parts of history and some parts they don't tell, I don't get it, Seems it's because they want to spread their interest. They have an agenda, and they don't want you to stray from it. But regular Croatian people, I have nothing against them, but I just think it's not fair how Serbia is trampled on and treated like shit for some things in the 90s when Croatia kicked out 200-some thousand Serbs. The Albanians kicked out thousands of Serbs, ethnically cleansed from Kosovo. And nobody really says about it. The peacekeepers just stand by. They can burn down churches, 150 of them. They can desecrate cemeteries right in front of them, and they just sit there, Is that peacekeeping? I mean, it's disgusting, man. Why haven't you visited Montenegro? I was going to go to Montenegro last year, but some things came up. I was going to go in the summer. All my Serbian friends go to Montenegro. I was going to go with my buddy Nenad Selakovic. But at that time, I had foam festivals and festivals here in Serbia. Summers were busy, and so I haven't had a chance. I got many friends, Serbian friends in Montenegro, so I will soon. Exit Fest is going this year. For the first time, they're doing something down there, so I'm going to go with that, I think. So I'll be able to visit my beautiful friends in Montenegro. I mean, why do you tie your life up with Serbs? No one forced you to do it. There are many other countries in the former Yugoslavia. I know nobody tied me down here in Serbia, but I tied myself down because I love it here, and Serbia needs it. You stated Croatia's already a tourist destination. It's because the media has not reported past atrocities like they do in Serbia, about Croatia. They don't tell anything. They tell everything Serbia does. There was a guy in the USA, a Serbian, who punched an American and killed him a few years back. And because this American guy was hitting on the Serbian's girlfriend. He was drunk, this American, supposedly. hitting on this girl, and the Serbian's like, leave her alone. The girl did not want this guy around. He kept forcefully, so the guy punched him and killed him. They made an international incident out of it. It's a tragic accident. It's horrible somebody dies. But, I feel it was broadcast all over and such a big deal because it was a Serbian, And I think that's why. Serbia needs somebody here, a foreigner from a country that they've not had a good past with, that lives here, that's safe here, that's loved here, that's treated wonderfully here, to tell the rest of the world that, hey, what you watch on TV and what you hear is not all true, okay? Because I live here, I love it here, and they need me here. Croatia doesn't need anybody to tell the world how wonderful it is, because people know it. People hear about it. It's in movies, it's on travel shows. This part of the world is neglected, unfortunately, and it's my favorite part of the world because of the people. And the people have been crapped on, and the people just don't care. They still live their life, they have very little money, but they enjoy it, and they enjoy foreigners, and they enjoy showing them around, and I love Serbs, okay? Don't be I'll shut this off and get it finished.